This historic act is the world's first comprehensive declaration of equality for people with disabilities. The first. I now lift my pen to sign this Americans with Disability Act and say, let the shameful wall of exclusion finally come tumbling down. God bless you all.
I really believe that people with disabilities are the greatest untapped resource in this country today.
The ADA has given us the right to travel the sidewalks and streetscapes of our country.
The ADA was the critical linchpin of changing things, and now it's an ongoing process of using it to try to create these kinds of changes.
ADA's done just fantastic things for people that are blind, people in wheelchairs, getting up public transportation.
The big thing that I see is in transportation for me. Being able to travel around the country independently in a power wheelchair to just about any city in the country is definitely a factor of the ADA.
People with disabilities are out and about, and one of the reasons they're out and about is because the ADA required that transportation providers make their transportation accessible.
No one would have installed curb cuts if it weren't for people with disabilities. Now everyone uses them.
The transportation systems are getting more and more comfortable, working with people with disabilities, and it's just, I've just seen huge changes in that area.
Because it doesn't do a person with a disability much good if they can apply for a job and they get the job, if they can't actually get to work.
We have more technology today, everything from not only desktop electronic magnifiers, but we now have pocket magnifiers that are electronic and allow us to be mobile with those types of magnification devices.
Where some of the assistive technology could be really helpful is with some of the nonverbal people with autism. Some of these people do have a good brain in there. They can learn to type independently.
Now many movie theaters have open captions, so I can go to a movie on opening day just like hearing individuals can. When I go to a hotel, I have a visible fire alarm if there were to be a fire. They have equipment there that makes it accessible for me, like alarm clocks that vibrate, TTYs.
I know that people with disabilities want to go to work. They want to feel the pride of earning a paycheck, and they have talents that they can contribute.
Particularly for the blind community, we experience about a 70% unemployment rate when compared to the rest of society.
If people want a new job, they can get an interpreter for the interview and be able to secure that job. So I think the Americans with Disabilities Act has impacted deaf people's lives in a variety of ways.
The ADA Amendments Act is really about bringing down barriers and providing people with disabilities not only access to accommodations and public buildings and stuff, but access to opportunities.
I think the biggest struggle of people dealing with mental health issues is to have the public acknowledge that they are discriminated against, that it is a disability and they do face discrimination.
When people that have a hidden disability, they're going to need accommodations like being away from fluorescent lights, have a quiet place to work. Those are two really important accommodations, and those are usually easy to do.
We have so many veterans who have been wounded in combat now coming home and are going to need the proper support so that they can enter the workforce.
It would be my hope that people use the Act to continue to achieve the basic rights that they're entitled to, that everybody has and that everybody wants.
And the younger generation definitely needs to know what their rights are, but also to take that responsibility of leading the charge now and moving this forward.
And it's really only now, 20 years after the ADA, that people have a full complement of resources.
Disability in general is an equal opportunity condition, and that the longer we live, the older we get, each one of us has the opportunity to acquire a disability.
I may be the first quadriplegic to serve in the United States Congress, but I most certainly won't be the last. ADA has certainly provided a great vehicle and a pathway for people with disabilities to succeed.
Hopefully, in the next 10 to 20 years, we'll make that much more progress.